Long ago, in a small town called Bethlehem, a single brilliant star pierced the night sky, heralding something truly extraordinary. Beneath this celestial beacon, a baby was born. His name was Jesus. From the very moment he opened his eyes, those around him felt a special presence, a sense of wonder that was hard to explain. His parents, Mary and Joseph, watched in awe as their son grew, marveling at his gentle spirit and a wisdom that seemed far beyond his years. Even as a young boy, Jesus radiated kindness. He had a natural gift for connecting with people, for seeing the good in everyone. You could find him helping the sick, sharing his food with the hungry, and speaking with a clarity that touched the hearts of all who listened. He taught that love and compassion were the most powerful forces in the world, stronger than any anger or fear. His reputation for kindness and wisdom began to ripple through the land, and soon people from distant villages and towns journeyed just to hear the young boy speak. His words were simple yet profound, planting seeds of hope wherever he went. But then, just as his light was beginning to shine brightest, something mysterious happened. Around the age of 12, Jesus seemingly vanished from the historical record. The stories fell silent for nearly 2 decades. The boy who had captivated so many was gone. People wondered, and whispers turned into legends. Where did he go? What became of the boy with the wise eyes and the gentle heart? Some ancient texts and oral traditions suggest the fascinating possibility that he embarked on a great journey to distant lands, venturing far to the east. They speak of a young man from the west who wandered through the breathtaking mountains and followed the sacred rivers of India. In this land of vibrant color and ancient wisdom, he became a quiet student. He sought out wise teachers in remote temples and bustling villages, eager to learn. There, it is said, he immersed himself in the deep spiritual traditions of the East. He studied the art of mindfulness, learning to be fully present in each moment. He practiced meditation, quieting his mind to hear the subtle whispers of the universe. He delved into the sacred wisdom of ancient philosophies, discovering profound truths about compassion, balance, and the intricate workings of the human spirit. For years, Jesus traveled in relative anonymity, not as a teacher, but as a seeker. He wasn't there to preach. He was there to listen and to learn. His journey was a pilgrimage of the soul. He met people from every imaginable walk of life, humble farmers tilling their fields, brilliant scholars debating ancient texts, silent monks dedicated to prayer, and fellow wanderers searching for meaning on the open road. He sat with them, ate with them, and listened intently to their stories, their joys, and their sorrows. Through these encounters, he discovered a universal truth. The most powerful lessons don't come from power, status, or fame. They are found in the simple, profound acts of love, the quiet strength of humility, and the selfless joy of service to others. He learned that the desire for peace, love, and understanding was a thread that connected all of humanity, regardless of their culture or beliefs. This journey shaped him, deepening the wisdom that was already within him and expanding his understanding of the world. Then, one day, his long sojourn came to an end. He felt a pull to return to his homeland. When he reappeared, he was no longer a boy, but a man. He carried himself with a serene confidence, his eyes holding the depth of his experiences. He now carried with him not only his innate divine wisdom, but also the rich tapestry of teachings he had gathered from his travels abroad. When he began to teach again, People were astonished. His words were unlike anything they had ever heard before. They were clear, direct, and resonated with a power that seemed to come from the very heart of truth. He spoke with a universal authority, saying things like, "Love your neighbor as yourself." It was a simple command, yet it held the key to a better world. He declared, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God," elevating the pursuit of peace to a sacred calling. He challenged the values of his time, advising, "Do not seek riches or fame, but seek understanding and truth." His teachings were a radical call to a different way of living, one based on love, not law, on mercy, not judgment. Jesus' life became a living demonstration of his message. His journey was one of teaching, healing, and inspiring everyone he met. He performed miracles, but not as a display of personal power. Each miracle was an act of compassion, a way to show what was possible through faith, hope, and love. He healed the sick to restore wholeness, fed the hungry to show that everyone deserved care, and calmed the storm to teach that fear could be overcome by faith. He spoke to vast crowds in parables, telling simple stories about farmers, fishermen, and families. These stories held profound lessons about forgiveness, kindness, courage, and redemption lessons that were easy to remember and could guide a person for a lifetime. He taught that every person was valuable, that the lost could be found, and that it was never too late to start anew. His message was one of radical inclusion and unconditional love, but not everyone was ready to hear his message. The more his influence grew, the more he became a threat to the powerful leaders of the time. They saw his teachings about a kingdom of heaven as a challenge to their earthly authority. They were unsettled by his ability to draw massive crowds and by his disregard for their rigid rules. They saw his message of love as a weakness and his call for humility as an insult to their pride. And so they plotted to silence him. Jesus, with his profound understanding of the human heart, knew that love often meets resistance. He knew that light inevitably exposes the darkness, and the darkness often fights back. Yet he faced this opposition not with anger or fear, but with a calm acceptance. He accepted his fate, knowing that his journey was about more than just his physical life. It was about the eternal truth of his message. The day came when he was taken by the authorities. He was put on trial and crucified, a brutal end that seemed to many like a tragic and final defeat. The sky darkened, and the hearts of his followers were filled with grief and despair. They wept, wondering if the world had just lost its greatest teacher, its brightest hope. It seemed like the end of the story, but it wasn't. Even in death, his lessons refused to fade away. In fact, they grew stronger. The stories of his compassion, his wisdom, and his unwavering courage began to spread like wildfire. They traveled from person to person, village to village, and eventually across nations and continents. Those who had known him and believed in his message realized that while his physical body was gone, his spirit, his incredible teachings of love, forgiveness, and understanding could never truly vanish. They were eternal, and so the journey of the boy from Bethlehem continues to this day. His life story serves as a guide for people of all ages all around the globe. It teaches us that true strength is found not in power over others, but in our capacity for love and compassion, in our willingness to help and care for one another. His story inspires us to embrace curiosity and learning, to seek wisdom wherever it may be found, even if it takes us far from the comforts of home. It reminds us of the importance of courage and humility to stand for what is right, with a brave heart and a humble spirit, even when we are afraid. Above all, the life of Jesus is a testament to the power of a single life dedicated to goodness. It shows us that one person's legacy of teaching, love, and service can ripple through time, inspiring millions and changing the world in ways we can hardly imagine. His journey teaches us that even the smallest acts of love, kindness, and forgiveness have the power to create a better world for us all. Thank you for joining us on this journey. For more inspiring stories from around the world, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. May your heart be filled with love, courage, and wisdom. God bless you.